When I was a little boy, and the devil would call my name, I'd sing out, who do you think you're fooling? I'm a consecrated boy, I'm a singer in a Sunday choir. Oh, my mama loved me, she loved me. She get down on her knees and hug me, she loves me like a rock. She loved me like a rock, the baby, she loved me. When I was grown to be a man, and the devil would call my name, I'd say now, who do you think you're fooling? But I'm a consummated man, I can snatch a little purity. Oh, my mama loved me, she loved me. Get down on her knees and hug me, she loves me like a rock. She loves me like a rock, the baby, she loves me. She loving me, loving me, love me, love me. If I was president, the Congress would call my name, I'd say now, who do you think you're fooling? I got the presidency, myself the presidential podium. Oh, my mama loved me, she loved me. Get down on her knees and hug me, she loves me like a rock. She loved me like a rock, the baby, she loved me. She loving me, loving me, love me. Loves me like a rock. Loves me like a rock. Loves me like a rock. Loves me like a rock.
Hi everybody, I've been struggling a little bit with what to say on this video because I wanted to make a video of how to become friends with Sasquatch in the comfort of your own home. The key word there is friend, okay? Friends. I'm not talking about researching, learning, finding out about Sasquatch. I'm talking about being friends. And Sasquatch is very much like us. An advanced, you could say, root beings. They are one of the root creatures, one of the original creatures on Earth. And their intelligence is higher than ours in many ways. And their intuition and their imagination and what they call woo is very, very advanced. Very, very advanced. They are heart beings. Their mission is to be guides and guardians of this earth. And they see us as their younger brothers and sisters. And they have a responsibility of family and friends to look out for us. So, how do we become friends? We become friends through other friends. or by accidental acquaintance. Or you see somebody have an interest in them and you go and approach them and say, hey, what's going on? That's how we become friends. But Sasquatch is very much the same way. If you want to become friends with Sasquatch, Bigfoot, and not grab something from them, not try to get their photograph, or try to like get a trophy, or try to get a feather in your cap. Oh, I know this. No, you want to be friends. First thing you can do, and I'm assuming that you have an interest. You know, maybe you don't want to go out in the woods and that's not your thing, but you're really interested in Sasquatch. You're interested in ETs and what they're all about, and you're interested in Sasquatch and this paranormal stuff and what that's all about. So the first thing you want to do is, if you want to be friends, is first be friends with people who are already friends with Sasquatch. And there's a lot of people out there. I'm talking thousands of people. There's thousands of people who have Sasquatch in their neighborhood. There's thousands of people who have mind speak with Sasquatch, where Sasquatch comes in their house and plays with them, or gives them inspirations, or gives them feelings, lets them know that they're around, or looks out for them, keeps them from danger. Sasquatch comes to these people and heals them, all invisibly, for the most part, because that's what Sasquatch likes to do. They like to be in the background. You have to make the visible invisible visible, and you do that by your imagination. So the first thing you do, if you're interested in being friends with Sasquatch, a buddy, two-way, they and you're connected, pals, buddies, is find the people who are already friends with Sasquatch, and then you become interested in them. You want to know about Sasquatch from people who are actually experiencing Sasquatch, people who gift to them, people who have communication with knocks and sounds, and people who have mind speak, or people who have dreams and visions, and people who have photographs of the magic kind of stuff that goes on. Become friends with them. Ask them, what's going on with Sasquatch? How did you become friends with Sasquatch? You show interest in the people who are already friends with Sasquatch, because Sasquatch is big on being friends, and they will be friends with you because they're watching their friends. They're connected to their friends on a psychic level. This is woo-woo, okay? They're connected to their friends, the people who their family. They watch out for them. So if you're talking to a friend of a Sasquatch, Sasquatch will pay attention to you. That's the first step. It's pretty easy, really. I know my friend Keegan, when he got into Sasquatch, he actually found the telephone numbers and called every single person on the phone and talked to them about Sasquatch. Every person he could get their phone number. He called them person to person, phone to phone. And he just like, his whole world changed. Because they all said the same thing. Sasquatch is your friend. Sasquatches are very wise beings. They're playful and fun and loving, heart-centered. Now he's friends with Sasquatch. As Sasquatch who gives him glyphs and all kinds of fun things. But I'm talking about people who are you can't go out in the woods, or it's just not in your nature to go out in the woods, and that's not what you're doing. But so the first thing is be friends with friends of Sasquatch. Sasquatch is big on friends, so it's a friend introducing to a friend. You have their full attention that way. The other thing is stay away from killing Sasquatch, people who deny Sasquatch, people who think that Sasquatch is a dumb animal, people who think that Sasquatch is some kind of retarded savant. Stay away from that stuff. Find the people who love Sasquatch, who care about Sasquatch. Sasquatch look at them, they look at them. That's what you want, those people. Okay, so you got the friends of friends, be friends of friends part. Second part is you know, the American Indians have this saying that allow no man to be above you and no man to be below you. If a man is below you, you pick him up to your level. If a man is above you, you bring him down to your level. Everybody's equal. And I'm pretty sure they got that. Everybody, every being is equal. I'm sure they got that from Sasquatch. Because to Sasquatch, the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees, everything is equal. Human beings equal to Sasquatch. An equality. So, don't look at Sasquatch as a super high magical being, or look at Sasquatch as a wild wood ape, just barely able to, you know, scrape around. Equal. Friends are equal. Not above, not below, equal. Face to face, friend to friend, heart to heart. That's very important. So, and as I said, they're imaginary beings. Look, friends of friends, equal to equal. You're not looking up at Sasquatch like he's going to save you. Oh, he's my savior. I want to know about this. I want to know that. And it's like a begging thing. You don't beg. You don't beg to friends. You don't beg, please give me a little crumb of knowledge. You know, no, friend is friend. No begging, and no telling, oh, you should do this, and you're that, or you're that. No, don't do that. Friend to friend, equal. Or maybe you have to go through a lot to get over your fears and get over your ideas, get over your beliefs. Oh my God, beliefs. If you see what beliefs do, Sasquatch is a good window on what the quality of belief is. Whatever you believe, Sasquatch will show you. All those guys with guns and photos and cameras and you know and like big ears and things that they go out in the woods looking for the wild ape man. Sasquatch shows them wild ape man. That's what they want. That's what they get. You know, they want for proof. You know, proof. That's their belief. They want to prove that Sasquatch is an animal. So what do they get? Plaster footprints. Plaster footprints in little plastic bags of scat. And they put that in their bookshelf. Sasquatch give them what they want. Well, let me ask you, do you ever go to your friend and say, can I have a plaster foot cast to prove that we're friends? Or how about letting me take a little bag of your scat so I can put it on my bookshelf just to say, oh, I know you. That's not how you do friends. Friends, that's not how you do friends. Friends is heart to heart. And friends, your friend, if you have a really true friend, even if your dog is your friend, they are your friend whether they're there or not there. Whether alive or dead. You have friends. I have friends from high school who have died, passed on. But they were such good friends. They are still my friends. In my heart, they are my friends. Nothing changed. Life, death didn't change. Friend is a friend. Friends, in a way, friends can be more deeper than family. You know, because you can kind of maybe blow off your brother and sister because they're crazy. But they're still your brother and sister. But there's something about somebody who's touched your heart as a friend. You've gone through stuff together, experienced stuff together, and that never changes. Whether they call you on the phone every 5 years or never call you on the phone, still friend. That's what it means to be friends with Sasquatch. Because once they make a commitment to be friends with you, it's a lifetime deal. So, again, it's imaginary. You have to be able to do this in your imagination because you're not going to go out in the woods. Yeah? So then there's the other thing is, if you look at the videos on YouTube or maybe on Facebook, and you see these men and sometimes women who are friends with a lion, you know, and this guy's out there And he calls the lion. Lion comes and runs, and they hug each other. You know what I mean? And there's just like this love thing going on. And he's petting the lion. The lion is just like all over him. Man, that's friendship, man. That's love. There's an open heart there. What did that guy have to do to be friends with a lion? I saw another beautiful one of a bear. This guy was friends with this bear, and he would come and like just love the bear, and he would like lean on the bear, and the bear would put his hand over him, and you know, and he would like sleep in the bear, like on the bear's arm, lean up against the bear and sleep with him, and you know, and take a nap, and the bear would like hold him close like they're best buddies. What kind of heart space do you have to be like that? If you can be like that, then that's how you can be friends with Sasquatch. In your mind, you'd be willing to do that. To open up to this, okay, so Sasquatch, you know, in the woods is very, very scary. But to be able to have that kind of friendship, those are the kind of people who can be, who Sasquatch can be friend with. Yeah? They're imaginary beings. Now, let me say a little bit about imagination. We have ideas and thoughts in our head. Guess what? That's in our head. Beliefs are in our head. Words are in our head. But when you love somebody, like I'm talking about loving my friends, there's no belief. It's imagination. When I feel the love that I have for my friend, this whole image comes and the love comes, right? It's imagination. Imagination is in your heart and in your belly. Intuition and imagination. It doesn't come from your head. Head is thinking, rational, everything's real, right? Intuition and imagination comes from your heart. And while we have developed great, great intellects, Sasquatch developed their heart. And they have a big, massive heart. If you want to connect to Sasquatch as a friend, have them come into your house on an invisible level and inspire you, open your heart, or play jokes on you, or inspire you, then it's through your imagination. So here's what I would do. When you go outside, and you have to, and it's not just Sasquatch, okay, because you're not just being friends with Sasquatch. You cannot be friends with Sasquatch and ignore all of humanity and all of nature. That's not how it works. The tree is a being, the cloud is a being, the earth is a being, the birds are beings, they're beings. Beings. You can say hello to them in your imagination. You can connect to a tree, connect to the earth, connect to the sky, connect to the sun. They're all beings. It's that imagination, imaginary connection, imaginary friendship. Yeah? It's hard. You feel it in your heart. It's not, you're thinking, oh, well, that's a cloud with precipitation and water and temperature. No. It's just, there's beauty. And yeah, it's like there's a beauty there. And then there's this feeling of, it's all this like a magical, amazing thing. That's imagination. That's where the heart can flow. So, like I said, there's thousands and thousands of people who are stomping around the woods and they feel Sasquatch as friend. And they talk to him as friend, they relate to him as friend. But Sasquatch, they are imaginary beings. They can go very woo. They can go through your walls. They can become indivisible, and they can talk in your head. They can look through your eyes. They can send a bird to talk to you. They can give you signs and symbols. So they're not limited to people stomping in the woods. And what's happening now on Earth is there's so many people waking up, okay? You have people interacting with extraterrestrials. There's like tens of millions of those people. And those extraterrestrials, they're all like, and then people's like, their lives change. They start feeling more love. They start feeling more connected to the Earth. They start being more environmentally conscious and all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's what the report is. There's data on that. And then there's like millions and millions of people in the last 20, 30 years have had near-death experience. So these people leave their body. That's about as woo-woo as you can get. You leave their body, you go someplace else, all this kind of wild stuff happens, and they talk to light beings and all this kind of stuff. Then they come back in their body, and guess what? All of a sudden their hearts open, they start loving nature, they love people, and they feel connected to the trees and birds, and they live their life more in service. Yeah. So ETs, near-death experience. And then there's all these people who are channeling, shamans, people who channeling other spirits, channeling other energies. And there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And the message is always all the same. Open your heart, feel nature. See, so there's not just Sasquatch. There's a whole palette of life going on out there that you use your heart and your imagination to connect to. All a channeler does is just imagine. They have a very powerful imagination, and that imagination makes a connection, and then the information can flow both ways. You can ask questions to a spirit, and a spirit can answer you. We do the same thing with Sasquatch. When you connect with Sasquatch, it's just your love for Sasquatch, or your interest, your excitement of Sasquatch in your imagination. It goes out and it comes back. That's how it works. It's very simple. We're hardwired to do this. Just we live in our head and we don't pay any attention to our hearts or our will for the most part. So then there's the fear factor. What I recommend doing is make a little movie in your head and play games with Sasquatch. Yeah? Play tag, or play throw rocks at each other, or something like that, where you can experience your fear as a game that you play with this big creature in your imagination. And do this as a child would do it. And then at some point your fear will just turn into this kind of like joy of play. You know what I mean? Because the idea of having Sasquatch come in your house might feel kind of scary. But that's because the only reason why I would ever feel scary is like for me to go walk up to a lion, and like I would be scared out of my mind. But remember, that guy who spent his months, years, opened up his heart to the lion, he's not afraid of the lion. He is completely, he's played with the lion, he's loved the lion, he's fed the lion, he's gone on adventures with the lion. Yeah? He's not afraid of the lion. So, in your imagination, play with Sasquatch, play with them, go on adventures with them, play hide and seek with them, in your imagination. Because if you're imagining them, then they will imagine you. That's what it is. It's a two-way street in your imagination. Imagination has been severely retarded in the modern Western world. It gets beaten out of kids. You're just imagining things. I'll give you an example. In the 60s and 70s, thousands and thousands of millions of kids would be reporting, I have an imaginary friend, he comes in my room at night. I have this friend, and your mom says, that's your imagination. No, this little person comes in and he talks to me and teaches me. That's just your imagination. Your imagination isn't real. That's not real, right? Now these people are adults. And it turns out that it was aliens visiting them the whole damn time. And we told them it was their imagination. It was not real. Imagination, like if you talk to the Australian Aborigines, they will tell you that the dream time, which is the imagination world, is more real than this world. That's where Sasquatch will come to you. If you want to be, if you don't want to go out in the woods, I mean, if you go out in the woods, that's great. That's a whole nother thing. If you go out in the woods, that's great. But if you don't want to go out in the woods, you can do that. This is all heart's work. This is all work in your heart. It's not in your books or learning or videos. It's in your heart. That's what it is. And your heart's with you wherever you are, in your house, at work, wherever you are. And it is fun. Let me tell you, it is fun. It is fun like nobody's business. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is a hoot to feel connected to somebody like that. I'm not going to tell you all the stuff. You can learn it all for yourself. I'm not going to tell you, like, aggrandize it too much. Here's the thing about proof, okay? Proof. Again, if somebody comes up to you and says, prove to me that you're friends with your friend, and that friend of yours that you have in high school, prove to me that he's your friend. Give me proof. And you'd be looking at him and saying, that's the most insulting piece of shit thing I've ever heard in my life. You can't prove a friendship. You can't prove what's in your heart. Prove that you love your kids. Somebody comes up to you and says, do you love your kids? Prove it. Fuck that. Sasquatch does not teach by proof. Just get rid of that whole proof thing altogether. If you're not connected in your heart, then no proof will touch your heart. Proof is a mind game. Full of hate. Prove it. Gotta prove. We have to prove it. Kill them to prove it. What the hell is that all about? Kill your kids to prove that you love them? You don't do that. Come on. That's the mind stuff. Heartless. Heartless. Go into the heart. You love your children. You love your friend. There's no proof needed. No proof needed. So don't fall into the trap of proving. Like, if Sasquatch comes to you, he might come to you 5 or 6 times, and all you get is that inspiration, a whiff. You're watching a video, and you start to feel excited. That's Sasquatch. You go, oh, I like this. I like this. This is exciting. That's Sasquatch poking your feelings. They might do that. They probably have already been doing that for months and years. You wouldn't be watching videos on Sasquatch if they weren't poking you, saying, look, be excited about that. It's two-way. If you're watching them on a video, they are watching you watch them. That's what it is, because we live in, like, my name's Mike, right? And you look at me through YouTube. So here's my experience. There's Mike, space, screen, right? So me, YouTube, right? Me, space, YouTube. And when I talk to somebody, it's me, and then there's a space, and then there's them. Even with an idea, there's me, a space, and my idea. Yeah? Sasquatch doesn't have that space. In the heart, there's no space, right? When I feel love for somebody, when I just feel a little bit, or when I feel a connection to, like, say, a bird or something beautiful, there's no space. Okay? So with Sasquatch, there's no space. There's no you, space, Sasquatch. Yeah? Sasquatch doesn't have space. There's no you, space, Sasquatch. It's like the same. There's no space. That's hard for us to wrap around, because our mind, we have a spatial mind, spatial memory. But heart doesn't have space, doesn't have time. And they're living on that vibrational frequency. And they're teaching, and what they are teaching, the people who are friends, those are the thousands of us that are friends, what they are teaching is there is no space. We're all connected. When they say that they are all one, that's what they're talking about. All one. No space. Not me, space, you. Me, space, house. Me, space, floor. All one. It's completely, and you can't think of that. That can't be thought of. Doesn't work. Mind is about division and separation. Heart is about connection. And your emotional body down your belly is about connection. Emotionally, everything that we feel emotionally we feel as a being, right? This damn telephone, why don't you cooperate? You're not helping me, or why is your batteries... I'm talking to my cell phone like it's a being. You see, that's how your emotional body relates to things. Oh, my computer, how come my computer's running... Why are you running slow today? Damn internet. right? I'm talking to my internet like it's a being, because that's how the emotional body sees things. Everything is a being. The house is a being, the light bulb is a being, the ceiling fan is a being, whatever it is, on the emotional level, on the subconscious level, everything is beings. So you have the emotional level, which is in your belly, and the heart level, which is in your heart. Those two, boom, 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 heart, will, right? That's where you connect to Sasquatch. That's where magic happens. That's where psychic phenomena happens. That's where connectedness happens. That's where connecting back to the earth happens. It's not here. It's here, in your heart and in your belly. So I'm sure I've confused you beyond all recognition, and there's no way you ever feel like it's you ever feel like you could possibly do it, but it's not you doing it. All you got to do is be excited and play with it and want to be, want to be friends. You want to be friends and want to find out what it's all about. It's not you doing it. It takes two to tango. They will come across oceans to play, say hello. And you got to be able to say, okay, well, what if I want them to prove, by saying a word in my head. That's like saying, I want my friend to prove that he's the friend by calling me on the phone. Proof. Don't worry about proof. They'll give you indication. And they love to let you know that they're around. Move something, or you'll be playing on the internet, and all of a sudden this one video come up, and it's like, where did that thing come from? And you watch it, it's like, oh man, that's what I needed to see. That's them playing with you. It's so here's the thing about Sasquatch, is they have been watching us for a very, very long time, okay? A long time. They are really excited. So many people are opening up to Sasquatch. So many people are opening up to the ET phenomena. So many people are having spiritual experiences. So many people are awakening. Well, what is awakening? You're awakening to your heart. You're awakening to your intuition. You're awakening to your imagination. And you're connecting to all these things. That's awakening. They're so happy about that. But Sasquatch is not limited in any way, shape, or form to people walking in the woods. People, if you live near the woods and that's your thing, then that's great. Sasquatch loves that. They're willing to become friends with people who old like me. I'm not going to go walking in the woods. Sasquatch comes and visits me every week. I'm making this video because they've been poking me. Hey, you. Make this video. It's hilarious. I resisted for weeks making this, but that's what they want. They want you to know that they want to be friends with you. They want to be friends with people who have an open heart and care about them and care about nature, care about animals, care about humanity, want to make the world a better place. They want to be friends with those people. So, I'll leave it at that. It's entirely possible. I'm sure you're confused now and I did a terrible job. But I ain't the only one. Maybe I'm just the only one who I don't care what people say. I don't care what people say. And that's why I can get this. I don't care what people say. I have experienced things that I can't talk about. I don't care. I know what's in my heart. I know what side of the bread my butter is on. Oh God, I can just hear the gun boys and the shoot them till they're dead boys. They're hollow, empty, shallow, insignificant. Only in their mind, have no heart. I got no respect for those people. And they can tear me apart all they want. I don't care. They're not going to touch me. Yeah? Because what I experience and what's possible for you to experience is untouchable by human mind, by human thoughts, by human words. It's untouchable, unassailable. That's what Sasquatch teaches.
Goodbye, my friend. been the one for me. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one for me.
I had demon habits, but I had to let them go. But then I started having dreams about having dough. A lot of pain inside, but ain't nobody even know. My wife the pink butterfly soon when they see bloom and grow. Kidnap my kids and I ain't even gonna know where they live and get the chance to see them grow. And if they doing something wrong, I can't tell them no. I'm such a role model, but I can't tell my boys which way to go. The baby mansion by the beans on what the kids need. I rap about it so much, it